Good morning, beautiful people. It's time we talk a little bit about Delta Ninja Thief, what's going on with her. Why, even though her moves are not bad, she fucking sucks. And my first impressions, this is a day one, as usual. Day one first impressions, let's take them as an early review, nothing else. Don't take them as the final review or as the final verdict or anything. Let's talk a little bit about Delta, what's going on as usual before we start. Hello, degenerates. Welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and today's topic is gonna be Delta. I got her in 5 multis. We put an SR though, phase 0. I'm not leveling that up. We got her overload, level 0, awful lines, hit rate, critical rate, max ammo hit rate, elemental, and hit rate crit. I'm not re-rolling her, okay? I'm not. I got her to 774. I'm gonna be honest, I think you can go 744. We'll talk later about the skills a little bit, but it feels like a 744 in most cases is gonna be enough for now. And I've been running her with resilience because if you don't have enough max ammo, like any machine gun, you run resilience. When you get enough max ammo, you switch to bastion. Simple stuff, right? Now, her damage numbers are not that bad. The biggest problem right now is that her kit has 2 parts. The part with the damage taken, that's for everyone, but then skill 2 and burst are divided into 2. The part where you run her with a defender on the team or without a defender. Without a defender is a lot more useless because the shield is not great. The heals, however, if you put her with a defender on the team, the heals are decent, and the heals will also have synergy with other characters like Krone to proc her skill 2, regular attack, or whatever it's called, with the attack damage and everything else. So, for the most part, an off-burst B2 character. Maybe in the future, Copium, future-proof, you might be able to rank her as an actual burst character for the distribute damage buff. For now, not really. It's not great. So what I will say is, at the moment, as an off-burst healer that also is buffing the team by using, debuffing the enemy by doing the damage taken, is actually pretty decent. It's not awful. Not awful, right? The problem is that if we realistically speak about defenders in the game that you can use her with, guys, there is 2. It's literally Krone and Cindy. There is nothing else that you can actually put her on a team with. And the problem is that Krone has already enough characters you could be putting with her. Be it your Helm, be it even normal Ludmilla. If there is a core, you are putting Naga. There is like plenty of alternatives and plenty of really strong characters to put with Krone. And when we talk about Cinderella, it's even worse. The Electro team is set in stone. There are multiple variations, and all of them have really good buffers for Cindy, both with the HP and with the Elemental, right? So those 2 characters are already on really good teams. So the only reason, the only copium I can say cool for Delta is if you don't have either the limited characters that are buffing, so Sameranis, Ex-Maiden, Ludmilla, Elech for water, Helm Treasure, that's it. That's like the only situation. If you have Krone and Cindy and you are missing those supports. Because her damage numbers are not that bad. Let me open Figma because I forgot before I started recording. A professional content creator, by the way. And if we go to YouTube, again, they want testing. Don't take this as a final review or anything. This is just some reference numbers. I ran her on multiple places. I started doing Harvester at the 744. SR phase 0, like I was saying earlier, overload level 0, right? And as you can see, my Dorothy and my Helm were doing 1.4 and 2.1 running Delta with the damage taken debuff. It was pretty decent, 2.1, 1.4. Then I switched to Ludmilla. Obviously, Ludmilla damage is gonna be way better because she's fully invested. But my Doro and my Helm are doing the same basically. Helm is doing a little bit less, Doro is doing a little bit more, right? 1.3, 2.1. So it's pretty nice. It is an actual decent buffer, at least for water. For Electro is a little bit worse, I'll show it in a second. And then lastly I put Elech, and it was better overall for both Helm and Doro because of the elemental buff. So already on Harvester, you could be slotting her, but then again, it doesn't really make like a big difference when you could be running instead Ludmilla, when you could be running Elech, when you could be running Quincy and put Helm as the off burst. There is so many good water characters that even here is not something I can tell people, yeah, pull for her to do Harvester, guys, right? Surely it's gonna pay off. Then we did Kraken, full auto, until we died, right? To see her heals. How are her heals actually broken? And then we did Asuka and SBS bursting, 1.5, Little Mermaid 1.3, 1.2, and this was with Helm on the first test. And then we switched to Delta, and we were doing basically a little bit more with Little Mermaid, the same damage with Asuka, and a little bit less with SBS. So once again, her moves are decent. Like when we're talking about synergy with Crown is good, her moves are decent. The problem is, why would you be running her when her damage is gonna be way worse? And not only her damage is gonna be worse, but again, this is a character that works with 2 characters. There is nobody else. If you're not running Crown or you're not running Cindy, who are you putting her with? Blank? Are you bringing 2 B2s that heal and do damage taken debuff? Now you are forced to bring Rogue or Nord. Nord is Copium, so you have to bring Rogue. There's like not enough options to be bringing her right now. 2B is pure Copium. Let's not even talk about 2B, okay? Some people were saying Poly Treasure or Noah for PvP. I don't do PvP. You guys cook on that. I have no fucking idea how to PvP, okay? But all in all, she feels like a character that is yet again, great kit, great design, but underwhelming because there is not enough options. And if you pull, you are only doing it with the premise of maybe she gets more options in the future. Maybe they release more characters they can work with her. And that can take 2 months or 3 years. So I cannot recommend pulling for her right now. Again, I like her. I don't think her moves are that bad. The problem is how limited is the actual usage of applying them with a defender. And when it comes to her skills, like I was saying earlier, I don't think you need to be going any higher than 744 if you decide to pull for her. Just to get the damage taken up, it's a 10% at level 7, 12% at level 10, not worth going any higher. And then when it comes to skill 2, it was enough healing at level 4. It's not a huge increase that you need to be going higher. You are not bursting with her, so no need to be bringing her burst any higher than 4 just for some extra combat power. You could be going 711 if you want, okay? But 744, at least for a little bit of combat power. When it comes to her equipment, you actually want to build her as a DPS character. So it's the usual max ammo, elemental attack, hit rate is good for her, and then you want to ignore everything else. Obviously, the more lines you get, the better just for the extra combat power. But this only applies for the shields, so it's not like it even matters. It's for the shields right here and for the shields right there. And if you want to build her as a support, you just get max ammunition capacity, ignore everything else, and then you run Bastion if you get enough max ammo, if not, Resilience. A pretty simple character to build. I like her kit. It's just a pity that there is nothing to actually be using it with her at the moment. Would I recommend using any sort of resources on this banner? No, not really. Her burst is really cool. I like her design, but it's just too close to anniversary. Anniversary is really a couple of weeks away. Save your resources. You can put it on the wish list later and maybe grab a copy that way. That said, anything I might have missed, if maybe there is a tech to be using her and she's even better, right? Do let me know because I would love to be able to use Delta. That said, enough jumping. We are live every day. Links in the description down below. As usual, good luck with your pool dinner rates, and I'll see you on the next one.